So far, in the last 3-4 classes, we picked up on irregular verb called hona. Okay, we've studied irregular verbs like karna. Okay, we briefly spoke about jana as well on the irregular verb side, and then the last lecture we learned about dena. Okay, so I hope all of you remember the various topics that we covered in the in the irregular verbs. So just give me one more minute. I want to make sure that the audio is good. Okay, good. So, so now the last irregular verb that I want to cover is basically Lena, okay, which pretty much follows the same structure as Dena. Okay, Dena, it's opposite of Dena as well. Dena is to to give, Lena is to receive or to take. Okay, and we learned some of the examples of how to use this verb in past tense, and then pretty much the rest of the lecture, there will be some vocabulary words that I'll be teaching, and then after that, it will be most of the time will be spent on Hindi story. I try to do the story a little bit more challenging, so you guys get to exercise all the irregular verbs that we have studied so far. Okay, so you will be seeing the notion of hona, how to use hona in the past, how to use karna in the past, and similarly how to use dena and lena in the past as well. Okay, so with that in mind, feel free to ask any questions, using the Facebook Live as well as on Google Hangout. Uh, so if you remember, I'm going to give you a quick refresher here. If you remember, uh, whenever we are using irregular verbs, in the past tense, the verb conjugation, it really depends on your object, right, or your noun, whether it's the singular or plural. Similarly, whether it's a masculine or feminine. So if you remember, we kind of covered a table. So I'm going to write down all the verbs that you learned so far, irregular verbs, so that way at least you have one table covering all of them. Okay. So, and again, there are 4 categorizations. So if it is masculine singular, the object, and similarly, if the object is masculine plural, if the object is feminine singular, and if the object is feminine plural. Okay. So if you remember, when we started with the word called hona, okay, there were 4 variations of hona if you're using it in the past tense. If your object is masculine singular, we were saying hua, hua, okay, kya hua, such as, right, what happened. If it is masculine plural, it's hue, okay, and if your object is feminine singular, it's hui, and then similarly, if it is feminine plural, it's hui. There is a nasalized sound. Okay. Sometimes when I write in Roman, you don't get confused with that. It's pretty much, sometimes I write it as like 2e, so which is fine. Let's just keep it consistent. And this is called hui. Okay. And for those of you who are more into Devanagari, I'm going to write it down in there as well. So this is hua. Hue. And this is hui. And same as hui, but there is a nasalized sound here. Hui. Okay. Now, the second verb that we did, I'm going to write down in the table as well so that we have one reference. So we learned about karna. So similar to hua, it's like kia for masculine singular. For masculine plural is kie. For those of you who are already familiar with it, continue to write it one before me. Okay. And if it is feminine singular, it's ki. If it is plural, it's keen. Okay, and you will see all of them in the story as well once we start covering the story. But I hope you remember all the examples that we covered. And in the last class, we did diya. or Dena, right? So if you're talking about Dena, for masculine singular it's Dia, for plural it's Die, and then for feminine singular it's Di, and plural it's Di. So now you can see how it will work for Lena, right? So for Lena, it's like for singular, masculine singular it's Leah. For masculine plural, it's Lie. For feminine singular, it's Li. And for feminine plural, it's Li. Okay, so you can have this structure or this table ready for your reference whenever you're brushing up your concept for irregular verbs in Hindi. It's a very a good table for a reference. Okay. As usual, for those of you who are still familiar with the older lecture, there are ways to figure out which object is masculine and which object is feminine in Hindi. Similarly, there are ways to figure out like which noun is singular and which is plural as well, right? So I'm just trying to break it down even for folks who are new. Okay, so have a look at this table. What we'll do in the second section, this is the first section. What I plan to do in second section, I want to cover some examples of Lena, how to use different variations of Lena with very simple examples. You already know we've covered Hona, we've already covered Karna and Dena in the previous classes, right? So feel free to watch those videos as well. Um, so let's get going and let's learn about how to use Lena in the past tense. Okay. So let's say before even I give you, I want to quiz you. Okay. So Lena, the verb is to take or to receive or to get. Okay. So let's say, you took an appointment for something, right? And you want to say, I took an appointment. I took an appointment. And you want to say this thing in Hindi. Don't worry about the word appointment. You can keep it as it is. Now your objective is to say this in Hindi. Okay. The first thing, for those of you who are new, the first thing you will notice in here is like you have a pronoun that you have to use. There's a verb, to take, which it's basically Lena in Hindi. Okay. And you can tell it's used in past tense. Okay, and you can tell it's a transitive word. So you will be using ne with the pronoun. Okay, and you will be using the object is basically appointment, right? And it's a masculine singular. Now, if you were to translate this thing in Hindi, what will be your sentence? Very good, right? So I already have some answers there. So I'm going to take a pause here, and I'm going to ask you guys to see if you can tell me what the answer will be. How do you say I took an appointment in Hindi? Give it a try. There is no negative marking, right? I'm here to help. Very good. Very good. Awesome, right? So you will be saying maine. So as for those of you who are new, the first thing you will say is like you have a pronoun called main. Okay. And you're saying it in the past tense with the transitive verb lena, right? So you'll be using ne, maine. Okay. And then you're saying appointment as it is. I'm going to keep it simple. And then because appointment is masculine singular, if you go back to our table, the form of the Lena you'll be using is Leah, right? So you'll be saying मैंने appointment लिया, okay? You can say मैंने doctor का appointment लिया, or मैंने classroom का appointment लिया, or मैंने any appointment, right? I mean, or tax का appointment लिया, right? So Good work there. Similarly, if I were to say I took a I took a gift, how do you say that? So as I do the repetition part of it, I want you to just get quick at it. I took a gift. You can also say मैंने एक appointment लिया, as most of you are saying, which is absolutely correct and good, right? I took a gift. So let's say I took a gift for Sarah. Give it a try, everyone. Very good, right? So you'll say मैंने एक gift लिया. मैंने एक gift, or here you can say तोहफा or gift, right? मैंने एक gift लिया, which is absolutely correct, right? Now we can make it a little bit more advanced, right? I mean, and we can say I took I took some. Okay, I took okay, I took an umbrella. मैंने एक, let's see, I just introduced a new word here, umbrella. Let's see if you know the Hindi vocabulary word for that. Okay, so here it would be, okay, हिंदी में अम्ब्रेला को क्या कहते हैं? हिंदी में अम्ब्रेला को छाता कहते हैं. So you'll be saying छाता, or you can say ch with a and then t with a, छाता, right? So you'll be saying मैंने एक छाता लिया. Okay, मैंने एक छाता लिया. I took an umbrella. Okay, so this is pretty good. Good job, everyone. So on the previous example, when I say I took a gift for Sarah. So if you remember, for is के लिए. Okay. If you are saying I gave a gift to Sarah, right? Then you can say मैंने Sarah को gift दिया, right? You're giving, देना. Then you can say मैंने Sarah को gift दिया. A lot of you use this postposition when I ask you to do so, right? And if you're saying that I took a gift for Sarah, right? I mean, you say मैंने Sarah के लिए gift लिया. Okay, मैंने Sarah के लिए gift लिया. So just want to clear that, clear that out. Okay, so I hope this is clear. How to use Lena in past tense for masculine singular objects. Okay, now let's look at the second case of it, which is how to use it for masculine plural. Okay, so let's say I took some fruits. I took some fruits for them. Okay, I took some fruits for them. So let's say now you have to translate this in Hindi. Okay, fruits, you can tell it's a direct object receiving the action of the verb. It's plural, you can tell, right? Even if you don't know, because it's fruits, right? And then the Hindi word for fruit is fal, and even the plural is also fal. So don't get confused with that. Now your task is to really write that in Hindi. Since the singular and plural is same, it's pretty much how we are using the ending of Lena in the past tense. That really determines whether you took one fruit or you took multiple fruits. So I'm going to leave you with that, and let me see if you can figure this out. And as well as I'm also reviewing the comments on Facebook, so please participate as much as you can, so I can. Very good. Right. So as I said, right, I mean, I so here again, pronoun is मैं, which will be, you'll be adding ne with it, right? So मैंने. If you were to simply say I took some fruits, मैंने कुछ. For some you're saying कुछ, okay? मैंने कुछ, and then you're saying फल. मैंने कुछ फल लिए, because it's masculine plural. मैंने कुछ फल लिए, okay? If you're saying I took a fruit, you'll say मैंने एक फल लिया. You're ending it with लिया because fruit is masculine and you're using a singular form of it. And now you're saying for them. For them, remember. So it will be मैंने. For them is उनके. They is वे. Okay. But you're using वे plus for the post positions, which is के लिए. Okay, वे, which is like, that's how you write for they. And then when you combine both of them, that means like them. And it's basically in Hindi, one word for that is unke, right? So मैंने उनके लिए कुछ फल लिए. मैंने उनके लिए कुछ फल लिए. Very good, right? I mean, so I think most of you are following it quite well, so I'm really happy about it. And so I'm going to cover the third one here so that we can spend more time on the story part. Now we will do the same thing for feminine singular. So I have two things for you. I took, let me change it from I to she. She took a medicine, or she took her medicine. So I want you to translate this thing in Hindi. It should be simple for you. Right, give it a try, everyone, on Facebook as well. Okay, give it a try. Okay. Okay, so you remember for he, she, it, we use the pronoun called veh. Okay, and we could use also yeh also. Okay, so in this case it's veh. And remember, you are now, initially we were saying main, and then we were adding ne after that, right? So वहने would be उसने. Usne. Okay, so let's break it down, right? Usne would be your, you're using वह with ne. So this is your subject now, right? Now medicine, right? So when you're saying medicine, it's basically dawai, or you can also say dawa. And for folks who are into Devanagari, it's the with va and dawa. Okay. Now medicine, it's masculine singular, so you can tell that your verb will be ending with li or li, right here, right? So you can simply say usne dawa li. That's it, right? Usne dawa li. Now I introduced something purposely here, right? Her, that she is taking her own medicine, right? So you'll be saying उसने अपनी दवा ली. Okay, so I introduced it purposely to make it a little bit complicated or to confuse you, but the point was simple, right? You can simply, the point was simple. You have to identify the pronoun, you have to identify the verb, which is like to take, Lena. Okay, transitive verb again, so there has to be a ne in the past tense. So three things and you're all set. Usne, and then you can say medicine. This was kind of an optional, and then li, which was very important to identify that medicine is feminine singular. So let me ask another one. She took a, a holiday or a day off. Let me see if you can convert that. It's pretty useful, right? You all want to take a day off. So to take a day off or to take a holiday is chutti lena. So you can say that I added both of them, right? So chutti lena, chutti lena. So let me see if you guys can, if you can translate this. She took a day off or she took a holiday. And for folks who are watching live, definitely see how other people are participating. Look at their answers. See if that aligns with your understanding. And it's okay if if you think you have the same understanding, you can write it down as well. Very good. So let's see how we will say this thing, right? So we will be saying usne, she took a holiday or she took a day off. We'll be saying usne उसने छुट्टी ली. उसने छुट्टी ली. Okay, simple. उसने छुट्टी ली, right? Um, a lot of places, right? I mean, these are very helpful verbs, right? I mean, think of something as like she took a, or or she took a picture, or she took a selfie or photo, right? I mean, so even those are, you can, those like kind of common thing, you can write it down within this verb, right? So you can say उसने फोटो ली, right? you know उसने, for in case of selfie, right, you can say उसने अपनी selfie ली, right? So this is like how to use Lena in the past tense for feminine singular objects. Now we'll do the last one, which is plural. I hope this is making sense and now you guys are following. So this is nothing but like all the things that they've done, right? For medicine was singular. Right? You have to use this in some of the sentences and you have to call it medicines. So where we had dawa, for plural it would be dawaiyan, dawaiyan, right? So where we said like, she took a medicine, if she's taking multiple medicines, you can say dawaiyan, dawaiyan, right? So you can similarly say like, if they're taking multiple medicines, you can say unhone, like they took medicines, unhone dawaiyan li, right? Only thing would be that ending, it's basically, you have a nasalized sound, li, right? I mean, unhone dawaiyan, right? So uh, it, for singular, it's li, for this is for singular. For plural, it would be, same thing, but you have a nasalized like the dot here, right? For plural. उन्होंने दवाइयाँ ली, right? Similarly, like, same thing if I were to ask you, like, so they took holidays. They took holidays. Now, holiday, as I told you, right? I mean, chutti is singular, but chuttiya is plural, right? So let me ask you to translate this. They took holidays or, multiple days off, right? How do you say that? Give it a try. It should be simple for you. I have the pronoun as, it's a different pronoun. So very good, right? So very good. So you'll be saying unhone. So you'll be saying unhone, and then plural for chutti is chuttiyan, right? So unhone chuttiyan, and then you're ending with li, right? Unhone chuttiyan li. And for those of you more on Devanagari, unhone, and then you are saying chuttiyan. So cha with u, after chuttiyan, and then you are saying li. Okay, so I hope this is clear. It basically strengthens your understanding about how to use this uh, irregular verb more effectively. Now I'll jump to the third section of this class, which is the vocabulary part. Right, very interesting one. So stay with me and keep asking all the questions. Okay. Some of you on the Facebook you shared the video as well, so that's pretty good. Thanks for that. So now let me. There are 9 vocabulary words that I have, and I'm gonna, section 3 is vocabulary. So I'm gonna put them into 2 buckets. Okay. Some of them are verbs. Okay, so I'm gonna do the verb first. So first is to cheat. Okay. Second verb that I have is to return. To return, or to refund also. To return or refund. Okay. Third one I have is to lie. Okay. And fourth one I have is to sell. And the fifth one I have is to investigate. And all of those you will see in the story. Okay. So I'm going to take a pause and I'm going to ask you if you guys, any of you have some familiarity of how do you say these words in Hindi. Okay. So if some of you are already familiar with it, feel good about it and you can write them down. Otherwise, we'll just cover it in a minute. Okay, so the first one is to cheat, and then to return or to refund something. Third one is to lie, when you tell a lie to someone. Fourth one is to sell, and the fifth one is to investigate. Give it a try, all of you. Okay, so to cheat in Hindi is dhoka dena. Okay, dhoka dena, dhoka dena, and you see you are using dena here as well, right? Dhoka dena. And the way you write it in Devanagari, I'm going to write it down as well. So it's like, you have a the with a o, and then k with a, and then dena, right? So for example, if you're saying that someone like he cheated, you will be saying usne dhoka diya. You see, dhoka is there as it is. Dena becomes diya. Okay, and because I have he, it's vah plus ne usne. Okay, to return or refund is वापस करना, वापस, and then you have करना, वापस करना. Okay, and the way you write it in Devanagari, you have a verb with a and per with sa, वापस करना, कर, and then na with a, वापस करना. Okay, um, and again to use it, like for example, I return your laptop. Okay, I return your laptop. Uh, so again, to return, you can say it's a transitive verb because you return something, right? So I'll say I return मैंने laptop वापस किया. You can say there is a karna, right? So karna becomes kiya, and laptop is masculine singular. Okay, I may be going faster for you because we have covered all these verbs, dena, karna, right? So don't get intimidated. You can always watch this part again and go a bit slowly. Okay. Again, to lie. To lie is jhoot bolna. Jhoot bolna. Okay. Jhoot bolna. Okay. To sell. To sell is bechna. To sell is bechna, and you will say that it's like ba with a, ch, and then na. I have to check whether it's one or, but I think it's two. Two bechna. Bechna. Actually, it's one. Only one. Bechna, and then this one is jhoot. J with u, and then jhoot. Okay. Last one is in this set is to investigate. To investigate is like जांच करना. जांच करना. Okay, so you will have a जांच करना. Okay, so for most of you, I think some of you are familiar with this one, to sell, because we use it commonly, बेचना, but the rest of them should be new verbs for you, so you can add them into your verb list, right? To cheat, धोखा देना. To return or refund is वापस करना. To lie, झूठ बोलना. To sell, बेचना. Okay, to investigate, जांच करना. And you see them in the, when we do the story part. Okay, all of them. So I have four more vocabulary words before we jump to our story. So I'm going to erase it, and we'll do the other four, and we'll jump right to the story, which is like very interesting. Okay, so now I have the four more vocabulary words. First one is land. Now these are not really verbs, right? Land, cow, or cows. Okay. justice and court. Okay, so I'm gonna, skip a step here, and I'm gonna just do it myself. Land, you can say bhumi or jameen. Okay, zameen. So you have a z, ma with e in the zameen. Cow is, I think most of you know, it's basically guy. If you're talking about one cow, it's g with a and then ye. If you're talking about multiple, it's gaye. So g with a and then ye with a. Gaye, cows. Okay. You have justice. Justice is nyay. Nyay, right? So you have a half na and then ye with a and then ye, right? Nyay, right? Court is basically nothing but, remember when we say to study, vidya, it's like study, right? Or, so vidyalaya is like, house of, education, right? Similarly, like, when you put alay at the end for any particular, like a, suffix for some of these words, that means like house of, this particular thing. So when you put alay at justice, like, for example, nyay plus alay, it's nyayalay. So nyay alay, like a house where justice is given, right? I mean nyayalay, or you can also say adalat, which is another word for court, but I just wanted to give it to you, nyayalay, right? And the way you write it in Devanagari, half na, ya, year with a, and then la, and then year, nyayalay. Okay, and you can also say adalat, or the with a, and then the. Okay, so you will see these 9 words in the story. Okay, so I want to quickly see if there are any questions on the Facebook side. Okay, no, good, good. So get ready for the interesting part now. Okay, so this is where you have to really pay attention to the story. Okay, and don't get intimidated if it is too difficult. But I can assure you that by the end of the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or you'll all be able to know what is happening in this story. Okay, so stay with me. I'm gonna be speaking for the most part. It's all written in Devanagari. Okay, so read it very carefully with me as I'm writing this. So Ramesh, Jat Sahab, Jat Sahab, Jat Sahab, मुझे अशोक ने मुझे अशोक ने धोखा, दिस इज धोखा दिया है. जज साहब, मुझे अशोक ने धोखा दिया है. उसने, रादर इसने मेरे पैसे इसने मेरे पैसे वापस इसने मेरे पैसे वापस नहीं दिए. ओके, जज साहब, रमेश, जज साहब, मुझे अशोक ने धोखा दिया है. इसने मेरे पैसे वापस नहीं दिए, और इसने मेरी जमीन मेरी जमीन वापस नहीं दी। और इसने मेरी जमीन वापस नहीं दी। ओके, और इसने मेरी जमीन वापस नहीं दी। नाउ अशोक। अशोक, जज साहब, जज साहब, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया। मैंने कुछ नहीं किया। जज साहब, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया। रमेश झूठ बोल रहा है। अशोक, जज साहब, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया। रमेश झूठ बोल रहा है। इसने पिछले साल इसने पिछले साल मेरी इसने पिछले साल मेरी पांच पांच गायें ली थी। अशोक, जज साहब, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया। रमेश झूठ बोल रहा है। इसने पिछले साल मेरी पांच गायें ली थी। और और मेरी गायें बेच दी। और मेरी गायें बेच दी। और मेरी गायें बेच दी। रमेश रमेश अगेन। रमेश, इस अशोक ने इस अशोक ने मेरी इस अशोक ने मेरी जिंदगी खराब खराब कर दी। अगेन इट्स जज साहब, इस अशोक ने मेरी जिंदगी खराब कर दी। एंड देन अशोक, मुझे न्याय चाहिए। मुझे न्याय चाहिए। कौन? जज साहब। मुझे न्याय चाहिए, जज साहब। एंड देन फाइनली जज। जज, तुम दोनों तुम दोनों लड़ो मत। तुम दोनों लड़ो मत। अदालत अदालत इन बातों की now I'm running out of space. अदालत इन बातों की जांच करेगी. अदालत इन बातों की जांच करेगी. Okay, so let me read it again for those of you who are finding it. If the words are very small for you, let me read it for you so that way you can, follow it along. Please listen to my pronunciation and my words very clearly. First, I'll speak like a beginner, so I'll speak very slowly, and then I'll speak like a native speaker. Okay, Ramesh, जज साहब, मुझे अशोक ने धोखा दिया है. इसने मेरी इसने मेरे पैसे वापस नहीं दिए और इसने मेरी जमीन वापस नहीं दी. अशोक, जज साहब, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. रमेश झूठ बोल रहा है. इसने पिछले साल मेरी 5 गायें ली थी और मेरी गायें बेच दी. रमेश, इस अशोक ने मेरी जिंदगी खराब कर दी है. अशोक, मुझे न्याय चाहिए जज साहब. जज, तुम दोनों लड़ो मत. अदालत इन बातों की जांच करेगी. Okay, so let me clearly underline some of the places, which should be very common to you. You can see we have used a lot of irregular verbs in past tense, such as diya. You use diye here, okay, and then di. Similarly, we've used kiya, and then li, di, and then di. Okay. Um, so you see a lot of usage of those. You will see a lot of ne in the sentences. Ashok ne, इसने, मैंने, or similarly you will say इसने or अशोक ने. Okay, so you will see a lot of ne as well. What else? Tell me all other patterns do you see in this story? What is really happening in the story? If some of you can forget about the translation of the text, what is really happening? In one sentence, if you can write it down on the Facebook Live as well as on Google Hangout, what is happening here? What is happening here in the story? Okay, as you can tell, Ramesh and Ashok, they are in a courtroom and they are basically having a dispute, right? So the story is pretty much about that, right? Even if you don't know the entire like translation of it, hopefully with the current understanding that you have, you should be able to tell that Ramesh and Ashok, they are in front of judge and they're fighting over something, okay, which we will uncover now. Okay, so now let me read the whole thing as a native speaker. So it's okay if you don't understand it, John. We'll break it down. We'll go over each line one by one. Okay, but the whole point is like even if you don't know the entire thing, at least try to get a summary of what is happening. Okay, so let me read it now like a native speaker. I'll be very fast. रमेश, जज साहब, मुझे अशोक ने धोखा दिया है. इसने मेरे पैसे वापस नहीं दिए और इसने मेरी जमीन वापस नहीं दी. अशोक, जज साहब, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. रमेश झूठ बोल रहा है. इसने पिछले साल मेरी 5 गायें ली थी और मेरी गायें बेच दी. रमेश, इस अशोक ने मेरी जिंदगी खराब कर दी है. अशोक, मुझे भी न्याय चाहिए जज साहब. जज, तुम दोनों लड़ो मत. अदालत इन बातों की जांच करेगी. Okay, I think it's a pretty challenging story. Okay, and if you have kind of deconstructed it, and if you've figured out meaning of the entire text, I think you mastered the how to use irregular verbs in the past tense. Okay, so let's go one by one line by one line. So let's focus on just the first one, and I'm going to unmute one of the panelists. So I'll go with Anyas, unmute you. So let's just go by first line, and let's.
Okay. रमेश जज साहब मुझे अशोक ने धोखा दिया है. Sir, Judge Sir, I don't know how do you translate.
That's okay. Just call it Judge Saab.
Okay, Judge Saab. Ashok did cheat on me.
He cheated. Yeah, he has cheated basically. That he has
on
cheated.
me, no? Like mujhe.
That is correct. He has cheated me, or he has cheated on me. It's completely okay. Let's go to the next line.
इसने मेरे पैसे वापस नहीं दिए.
Okay.
He didn't return my money.
Yes, इसने मेरे पैसे वापस नहीं दिए. He didn't return my money. Very good. Now, before we jump further, are there any words in this story which are not clear? I mean, feel free to write it down on the on the Facebook as well. If any particular word is not clear. Okay, it's okay. I'm just saying so that Let's move on to the third line.
Me again?
Yep.
Okay. और इसने मेरी जमीन वापस नहीं दी. And he let me see. वापस क्या है?
वापस देना is to return or refund, right?
Yeah.
Like the way you go, इसने मेरे.
Oh yeah. And he didn't return my land.
So basically, in this case, it's basically past perfect, right? So he hasn't returned my land either.
He hasn't. Yes.
He hasn't returned my land either. So what is Ramesh in general? What is Ramesh trying to say?
That he had no money and no land. So there's a problem here.
Because Ashok cheated, right? Ashok cheated and Ashok took everything from him.
Yeah.
Now I'll unmute Liz, and I'm going to ask her to talk about what Ashok is trying to say. So give me just 1 minute. Can you see? Yeah, Liz, you're unmuted.
Okay.
Read it slowly and then tell us what.
Okay. Ashok, Judge Sam, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया.
Okay.
So he's saying, Judge Sir, he has given me nothing, or he has done nothing.
मैंने.
I have done nothing.
Yeah, I haven't done anything. Okay.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Next, move to next line.
Ramesh, jhut bol rahi hai. So Ramesh is saying he is lying.
So say that again.
Oh, Ramesh is lying.
Very good.
Ramesh is lying.
Very good. Ramesh is lying. Awesome. Next one.
Okay. इसने पिछले साल मेरे 5 गायन. So is that?
Read it one more
time. Is that 5 years?
Read it again and read it slowly. इसने पिछले साल मेरी.
He. So he last year 5 cows took 5 cows.
Who took 5?
He. So Ramesh.
Very good. Very good. So read it one more time and then tell me the translation of it.
Okay. इसने पिछले साल मेरे 5 गायन ली थी.
Okay.
So he last year my 5 cows took.
So in English it would be who took 5 cows from whom?
Ramesh took from Ashok.
Yeah, very good. Ramesh took 5 cows from Ashok last year. Right. So this is basically Ramesh is alleging something, and there's a counter allegation from Ashok. Is that clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now next one.
Okay. Or Meragayan Beach Dean.
Mhm.
And my cows, we bought my cows.
No, no. To bechna is
And
to
I
bechna is to
bechnas to buy.
no. Bechna is to kharidna is to buy. Bechna is to
Ah, to sell.
very good, right? Bechna is to sell. Now bechna is used in the past tense, right? So read it again.
Ah. And my cows sold
Or maybe
sold Dean,
passed by.
so mm-hmm.
Read it again. I think you're pretty close.
Or Meragayan Beach Dean.
Mhm. So if you read those two sentences together, you will be able to make sense of it. What is happening here?
Okay. इसने पीछे से मेरे 5 गायन ली थी और मेरे गायन beach Dean.
Hmm.
So last year he took 5 cows and did not buy.
And he sold them.
Ah, and he sold them. I keep saying beach as buy.
Yeah, bechna is to sell. Does it make sense now? The counter allegation from
Yes, it does. And then he sold them.
yeah. So Ramesh he alleged something, and then Ashok is putting some counter allegation. Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm going to unmute Anyas again because she's playing the role of Ramesh. Give me just 1 minute. Anyas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it means, and my cows had been sold. No?
I mean, in essence, that's what he's being saying. He's saying my cows have been sold. So like
Yeah.
Ramesh is saying that this guy he cheated me. He took my money. He took my land. And then Ashok in summary he's saying no, I didn't do anything. This guy Ashok Ramesh is lying. He took 5 crores from me last year and he sold them.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you are again Ramesh here.
Okay. इस अशोक ने मेरी जिंदगी खराब कर दी.
Uh-huh.
Kharab
karna is to ruin.
Is to?
Ruin or to waste. To ruin or to waste.
Okay. So, so this, wait. So, Ashok ruined my life.
Very good. Ashok has ruined my life.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Ashok, which is basically Liz, you read this line. Can you read it? You may have to unmute yourself. Yep, you are already.
Ashok,
Yep.
Ashok, मुझे नया चाहिए judge sab. So he said, I want justice.
Very good. I want justice or I need justice, Judge Saab. Okay. And then finally, Judge, I'm going to do it. You are new, so I'm not, I mean, relatively again, so I'm not going to put you on spot. I'm going to do this thing. Judge is saying, Tum dono lado mat. Like, you guys, both of you, do not fight. Okay. अदालत इन बातों की जांच करेगी. अदालत, which is basically court, इन बातों की, like these things that you're talking about, जांच करेगी. So अदालत जांच करेगी will be court will investigate. Okay, जांच. Remember, I said जांच करना is to investigate, but it's used in future indefinite, right? So when you're saying अदालत जांच करेगी, that means court will investigate. And then he's saying अदालत इन बातों की जांच करेगी. The whatever you guys are talking, your allegation and counter allegations, the court will basically will look into this matter. Okay. So I hope it was useful for you. It was challenging for you. For folks who are watching live on Facebook, I want you to take a snapshot or screenshot of this particular story. Read it again and again. okay, and write down the translation of it and send it to me, and I'm gonna review it for you. Okay. So in summary, again, Ramesh is saying here that Ashok has cheated. Ashok cheated me. He took my money. He didn't return my money basically, and he has not he's returned my money. He's not returned my money, and he hasn't returned my land. And then Ashok is saying that give me 1 minute. And Ashok is saying that Judge Saab, I haven't done anything. Ramesh is lying. He took my 5 cows last year, and he sold my cows. And then basically they are continuing the conversation, and both of them are looking for justice. Ramesh is saying that Ashok has ruined my life, and Ashok is saying that I need justice as well. And judge is telling them that don't fight, you guys. Adalat, like the court, will look into this matter. Right? So I hope it is useful for folks who are watching live on Facebook. We'll stop the broadcast now. This concludes our session for irregular verbs in Hindi. We'll cover a new topic next week. So thanks so much for watching it. So give me just 1 minute, and I'm going to open it up for. So I'll stop the broadcast here as well.